wọ́n ti wà tipẹ́tipẹ́ látìgbà tí wọ́n ti ń bàbọ̀ wọn ò fìgbà kan tẹ́rì o wọ́n ti wá ṣe bẹ̀bẹ̀ wọ́n ti gbé bẹ̀bẹ̀ dé podium cinema ni wọ́n tún gbé dé podium cinema lórí YouTube ẹ fọ́lọ̀ wọn kẹ́ ẹ láìkì wọn kẹ́ ẹ subscribe ibẹ̀ lẹ́tì mọ̀ wọ àwọn àjẹ́ àbálẹ̀ fíìmù ẹ̀dọ̀kí fíìmù tó léfò gan tààrà podium cinema mo bẹ́rí fún yín fíìmù mẹ́sàn-án ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni wọ́n kó jáde o àwọn gbàǹkọ́gbé fíìmù èkíní májẹ̀mú ẹ̀gbọ́n èkejì my wet ẹ̀kẹta ọmọ ẹni ẹ̀kẹrin àlàmú èkó ẹ̀karùn-ún àìmọ̀ ṣẹ̀wárí pé nǹkan kì í sẹ́sẹ̀ ràgó ó kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ eléyìí lẹ́ti kẹjù èdè Yorùbá ni wọ́n fi ṣe àwọn fíìmù yìí ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹfà sẹ́ẹ̀kẹsàn-án èdè òyìnbó ni wọ́n kọ́ ẹ̀kẹfà tẹ́mà èkeje the casting ẹ̀kẹjọ M1 the detective ẹ̀kẹsàn 100 M1 the detective at 100 orí síríìsì lẹ́fì máa wò ó ìyẹn dàgbéléwò nìyẹn podium international podium cinema ẹ fọ́lọ̀ wọn kẹ́ ẹ láìkì wọn lórí YouTube wọ́n wà lórí Facebook wọ́n wà lórí Instagram podium cinema ó ti dọbẹ̀ ẹ subscribe.
Good evening, guys. Welcome to episode 9 of Dear Parents. My name is Babalola Dekumbi, and Dear Parents is a show brought to you by Podium International TV. Before I say anything further, please welcome my amazing co-host, Zainab. I don't know, network issues, but yes, we have a guest with us today, and I don't know why he likes to call himself Angry Bird, but hi, Angry Bird. Welcome to today's show.
Hi,
So,
how you doing?
topic for
It's a
today:
pleasure to be here.
why do my parents feel the need to constantly compare their children with other people amongst their siblings? Why do parents feel the need to constantly compare their children with other people or amongst their siblings? So most times these topics, they just always hit home. Like, if you want to talk to me, talk
PTSD.
to me directly. Don't start coming through corners. But the thing is, I don't know what parents do because I'm not there. Let's just say I'm at the receiving end, not the parent side. But I don't know. It might just sit well with them to say, is that not your mate? It's your mate that is doing that. And I'm like, you don't know what my mates are doing. I'm not even doing half of what they are doing. So, Angry Bird, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What do you have to say? Why do you think parents do that? Why do you think they do it? Why do they think comparing is like the best way to advise?
First of all, I'm not trying to make excuse for
Hello?
parents. Can you hear me?
Oh yes.
I said first of all, I'm not trying to make excuses for parents, but I think there's a huge gap between our generation and our parents' generation, and most of them, this is the way they grew up. Maybe their parents to compare them
Angry
and
Bird, do you
the
mind
effect.
speaking up a bit, please?
Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Say that again.
Is it better?
Yeah, I'll manage.
All right, so I was trying to say that, I'm not trying to make excuses for, that comparing attitude, because it really messed me up growing up. This topic is even giving me like PTSD. But, what I'm trying to say is that I think most parents, this is the way they grew up. This is how their parents to raise them. And I think there's a huge gap between our generation and our parents' generation. So, like, the effect he had on them is not the effect he's having on us. Do you get like now my parents compare me to people, I always feel like I'm not enough, and the thing that used to pain me the most is like my mom would tell me, I don't like comparing you to other people, but let's off first, and she will compare you to the world. So I just feel like maybe that's just the way they were brought up. That is why they tend to use the same mechanism and think it's going to give the same results, but it's giving way different results for their children. Can you hear me?
So I think it's the network. The network is pretty bad today, and it's hard to really hear you. And I always hear you when you say, "Can you hear me?" So it's the network, really.
Oh, is it better now? Should I repeat myself? Maybe on this tone.
Wait, so do you mind leaving and coming back? Because you're a bit frozen. I think that's why I cannot hear you.
Okay. Okay.
So, guys, I do not know, but network is messing up today. But our guest is coming back. Our host will definitely come back. So, I will just say a bit about this topic. So, I, like I said before, I cannot speak for the parents because I do not know why they do that. So that's why a youth is asking. That's why a child is asking why parents see the need or feel the need to compare their children to other children or even their siblings. Sometimes it even goes all the way to their younger siblings. So I know somebody that has messed up at the point in his life. He just messed up school and messed up some other things, and he had to start again. He's trying to start again, but it's hard. Hi guys, welcome back. Can you hear me?
Hello,
Yeah. So
yes.
network wants to fumble today, but no, we're not going to allow. Angry Bird, welcome back. Zainab, welcome back. So yes, this is my amazing co Zainab. Hi
Honestly.
Zainab.
Thank you.
So Zainab,
Hi, good evening,
when
everyone.
you left, I mentioned the topic, and I'm like, why do parents feel the need to constantly compare their children with other people or amongst their siblings? And I was sharing a story when you guys left. So I said I know somebody that messed up at some point in his life. He's the first child, sent him to school. He got expelled from school and all that. And now he's trying to start all over again. And at every slightest mistake, small
Mm.
mistake, they are going back. That is how we spent a lot of money on you. You did this. This is your junior brother. He has graduated. Is working. Your younger brother is
Yeah,
there, and it's like they're not even giving him like any chance to start over
a
again.
breathing space. Yeah.
So they are constantly comparing him to his cousins, his neighbors' children, even his own younger siblings, to the extent that his siblings do not even respect him anymore. Because
Yeah.
he are still in school. I'm a graduate, and it's bad to the extent that when he messes up, they'll call the siblings. I'm like, see what your brother has done again. Oh. Don't follow him. Oh. He's just the firstborn.
Really?
Don't follow him. And I'm like, how? Like,
Nah.
why do you think why do you think that is the best thing to do? Really? Say now, what you have to say.
Honestly, I'll never get it why parents feel the need to compare, especially in the scenario that you just painted. I would never get it. Why you feel like it's good for you to compare your children. Like, from some parents, they might think it comes from like a good place, just wanting my child to get better, to, my child being the best, being successful. But in the process, you don't know that you are ruining that child's self-esteem by comparing your child with other with all them the siblings or her siblings or like people outside generally. Like, you are destroying the child's self-esteem, and at the end of the day it's going to show in the child's life if they're not really making it better. But like in the African setting, like in the olden days, when you do things like that, trust me, it has actually helped to, shape some children, build them, because that was their mentality then. That was the way to raise children then back then. And like so many of the children, they were actually successful. But you will find out that like when they're in their setting, their group of friends, when you realize that in their group of friends and they're having a conversation, you feel like that child, you would not just notice, you can pinpoint that child that has confidence, or like that child with low self-esteem. You would know, because when they're talking, he or she would feel like, oh, the point I have to make is probably not, it's not going to be as good as what some of my friends would make, and like, and that comes from as a result of, the way the way that child was brought up, the way the parents built up that child by, comparing the child constantly. And that was in the olden days. Nowadays, when you feel the need to compare your children, low self esteem, they'll feel like they're not good enough. No matter what they do, they're not good enough. So that is why I'm sure this should ask this question is trying to find a reason why, parents do this. If there's going to be a positive reason they do this, which I just cannot get over, and I need like an answer from the comment section why, parents feel the need to constantly compare that, aside from like, oh, it might have a positive effect, they might be coming from a place of love, but that child is not seeing that. That child is not seeing that you love me by comparing me. Like, comparison is, to me, like, as a youth, I feel like it's a negative thing, you know. For a child that was brought up in that sense, it's a negative thing. Even if they are trying, if they are trying to explain to the child that, trying to convince the child that, oh, we're just making you better, we just want you to be better. That child is not seeing it that way. Except
Yep, network again. So, Angry Bird.
Can you hear me now?
So I
Is it
don't know.
better?
Network has seen Zen about again. But what do you have to say about this topic?
if he's in this situation,
She's back.
And she's gone again. Okay,
Angry
can
Bird,
you hear
just
me?
carry on.
sorry, my net, I had a bit of technical issue. Sorry. So I don't know if I can make my points, conclude on my points actually. So I was going to say something, concluding part, that there are exceptions, and I don't feel like it's comparison. It could be it is correcting from a place of love, but sometimes, they parents forget themselves in that point of correcting love and shift to that comparison part, which is like, I just feel like as a parent you shouldn't do that to your child. Yeah, that's just my conclusion on that.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Zainab. Thank you. See, we forgive network on your behalf, really.
Okay, so I don't know
You said
if you guys
something
are getting
about
what I'm saying, but Angry Bird,
Yeah.
what's your opinion on this topic?
Okay. To me, I hope you can hear me. Yeah.
Honestly.
The the only reasonable explanation I can think of giving is parents think this comparison mindset
Yeah, I can.
motivates the children. Like maybe they think like to compare will motivate your child, but it really does almost the opposite, right? It actually really damages
Yeah.
children. All right, and like Zainab said, I think they feel like okay they are doing it out of love. But one thing I've even realized is that okay, for my examples, like now, I've had friends that okay, not friends, like maybe neighbors or cousins that my parents compare me to. I know what those guys are doing. I'm not even doing like like half of what they are doing. Like, you know, I remember there's this one of my neighbors now. My mother is comparing me to that. Does he have two heads? He's doing he sold his parents' house. Do you get? So I'm not like, but now like I don't have money to go and tell my parents like,
Whoa.
um, see the person you have been comparing me to. Look at him now. I have like a little sibling that they compare him. Like, okay, now look at this. There's somebody in my brother's school. My brother always gets second position in school, and the first position. My mom always tells him, this guy, there's nothing to him. He's just a human being. You can beat him, but let the boy mess up now. He's always look at Tofumi. Tofumi is doing well. And I'm like, how do you now want to balance it? Like every day you're telling him you can do it, you can beat this guy, and any small thing that happens, you are comparing him. That guy is way
Yeah.
better than you. Blah blah. I'm like, like I think it doesn't have the same effect. Maybe this is the way they were raised, and it had like a different. It made them stronger or better. But for our generation, it just really
Mm-hmm.
because I know growing up, they compared me a lot, and it just made me timid. Like anytime I see those people that I'm being compared to, like I'm always very like intimidated. Like okay, this person is better than me. I don't think that's
Yeah.
their aim, but that's just what it does to their children.
I don't think like as an African child, it is very rare for you to have not been in a situation where you've been compared to other people. Like I just feel like it's a probably like a 1% chance that you've not been compared. Like literally everyone
They
here,
come.
I'm very sure, like the host as well. Like I don't know, is it only me? But I just feel like as an African child, a Nigerian child, there's been situations where you've been compared to like other people, and then like you said, the consequences of that intimidation, you feel intimidated by other people's low self-esteem, like it's just a lot of side effects that parents need to like they need to be aware of, basically.
You really find like
Mm.
you hardly find parents that are aware of like mental health, like the education of
So as
mental
the
health.
host of this show, what would be like your stand?
Zainab, no. Are you doing that? You're putting me on the spot. My stand. Really?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
But Angry Bird, can you hear me? I think I'm the
Yes, sir, I
one with
can
the
hear
bad
you. I can
network.
hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me? I can hear you.
I think I'm the one with the bad network, actually. Zainab, can you hear me?
Okay, so sorry, there was a bit of technical issue there. So I don't know. Yeah, I can. Yeah, please let's just carry on. I'm sure like he would pick up once his network is back. Okay, so like we said, we've highlighted like some side effects, not consequences of of comparison, always comparing your children to do that a lot, but it's wrong. Exactly. As a parent, it's a parent that just admitted this, that they're actually parents that do this a lot, but it's wrong. To them, they feel like, oh, I'm just like correcting you with love, that kind of thing. But as youth, we're telling you that this is how we feel whenever you do this. This is how you feel. This is how you make me feel. You make me feel less of a person. You make me lose my self esteem. Like I'm not really confident among my peers. That kind of thing. Like it's just there's just so much thing going on. The issue of mental health, like, and even youth, they can't just like get it why they can't get it why they feel um sorry sorry, I'm kind of distracted. They can't get it why parents actually do this. I don't know if everyone is getting it. From the comment section, what would what reason do you think and justify why parents do this?
Yeah, so guys, can you hear me now? I need to know if you
Yeah,
guys
I
can
think
hear me before I.
I can hear you.
we can just we
Okay,
can
so
hear
I'm
you.
sorry. I think I'm the one with the bad network. I apologize. I really, really apologize. So for those that are just joining in, this is Dear Parents, a show on Podium International TV. And today's topic is, why do parents feel the need to constantly compare their children with other people or amongst their siblings? And co-host and the guests have said a lot. They said a lot, but my network has been kicking me out and bringing me back. And I hope you guys can actually hear me properly. But before I left, Zainab was saying something about my stand about parents comparing their children. Am I right, Zainab?
Yeah, you're on point. You're on point.
Okay, so it's a no for me, because I don't think there's any positivity that can be brought out of comparing your child to any other child, regardless of what you have in mind. Like, oh, I'm doing it out of love. I'm looking out for my child. It cannot
Mm-hmm.
bring positivity. So it's either you make your child timid, extremely timid, or it's either you build hatred in your child towards those people that you are comparing your child to. But I don't think there's any kind of possibility that can be brought out of it. I will give you examples. You see children that become unnecessarily competitive in life. Not the positive, oh, I want to get this thing and I'm doing it for myself. But most times they are doing it being spiteful. Oh, my mom is always saying, do you have two words? I want to show my mom that you don't have two words. There's already a negative vibe in it. There's already this, oh yes, you're my competition and I have to bring you down kind of vibe in it. And it's not good enough. It's not what we should be doing as parents. Because I wonder why. I don't know, but I'm not a parent, but I do not think that it would it would do any good. It would just do more harm than good. And also, Angry Bird, you mentioned something about mental health. Do you think our
Yeah,
parents even believe in mental health in the first place? Do you think
that's
they
the thing. I
actually
don't
even
think
believe
they.
that there's a word called mental, like, because most times you always just now
I
it's everywhere, like, no, my parents do not even do they have they accepted that there's something called mental health and it might just be shaking these children up.
the thing is that, okay, our generation is very. I think, okay, not let me not say that, but I'm sure if they had a lot, their generation had a lot of knowledge that we have now, they will be the same. But you know, like, I don't think parents know that words actually affect our character. You know, I've had opportunity to speak to a lot of children, and I found that most problem is at home. Like, okay, if your parents are calling you names, comparing you, like, how do you now go outside and defend yourself when somebody's doing it? If that's the way you are getting it at home, do you get? And I don't think, like, our parents just think that, okay, this is like, they are doing this because they think it's helping us, but it's really having like bad effect on our mental health. Like, like now, take for example me. When my parents used to compare me, the first thing that ever came to my mind is, these people don't love me. I don't know if it's wrong, but I just felt like these people don't love me. Like, if that's the child you want, like, maybe I'm not just the child you prayed for, the child you wanted, you get. That's why you always compare me to other people. Do you understand? But I've even tried to talk to my parents, like, okay, mental health. They always look at, you are just too soft. People small this thing for already talking about depression. That is a lie. That thing does not. So I just feel like there's also that education that, with all due respect, our parents need to be enlightened on.